What's up everybody, it's Big Block here. Today we will be working on the next couple of small steps for the Harley Davidson Sportster 48 bobber build. What we will be doing today is we'll be installing different spark plug wires. Nice and sleeved red ones. It's gonna look really good. And we also got a Coil relocation kit. This is actually for the key relocation kit. For the key relocation, the main part is gonna be moving that thing away. And we're gonna move it from here to here. It's gonna be sitting nice and centered in the middle. And then the two red ignition cables are gonna go straight in there, have a nice shape to it. It's gonna blend in really well with the red air filter and the red cables on the other side. And yeah, I think it's gonna work like a charm. Also off camera yesterday, I installed the new license plate holder. I removed everything from down here, moved it over here. I've not connected the wiring yet, which is still to do. I've just tucked it under the seat for the meantime. Just gonna move the cable from here to down here, and then yeah, just solder it and put some shrink tube over it, and it should look pretty decent. Cleans up the back, and as soon as we get to fender and seat, we will also be removing these huge ass, ugly ass taillights to really slimmen up the rear of the bike. And also, obviously, handlebars, but that's gotta wait. All right, let's get cracking. What I did is I removed the main tank screw right here, because the tank has to be lifted for me to remove all this bullshit down here. And honestly, to mock or just to keep the tank up, I just kind of put a rag. I don't know if you can see this, the lighting sucks ass. I put a little rag, or actually a Corona mask that I found laying around over there, and just put the main screw back through it, and I just let it rest on the actual frame. So the tank is now loose, obviously. So as far as I'm aware of the whole wiring and the way it works down here is just kind of remove this whole plastic harness thing, which just consists of a crap ton of zip ties. Yeah, that will all have to be snipperonied anyway at some point, so we shall see. I'm actually gonna be abusing this as some sort of a tripod. Pretty sure the lighting is mildly crap. Obviously make sure you don't fucking snip your throttle wires. This is probably one of the most important parts if you're building a Sportster, is doing the tank lift, or at least, I'm saying at least, get rid of this plastic harness and tuck the wires underneath the tank. Because it really, really, really isn't pretty. Like, this is one of the ugliest parts of the bike that, in my opinion, if you ride a Sportster and you leave it like this, you probably live under a rock or something, I don't know. Now, the question is, what the fuck am I going to be doing with all these wires? That's the big question. I'll be back in a sec. Alrighty, so we are kind of on a roll today. I pulled everything out right here. There was this little fucking bracket. That's the bracket right here, which was holding on to the ignition switch and the coil. The coil is over there. That thing, this thingy. And I pulled all the plastic out, threw it over there, and yeah. Now, obviously, we have a big shit ton of fucking cables right here, which we all need to tuck up into the tank right there, because that's pretty ugly. And yeah, this is the ignition cable, which I, initially did this for, but, since we're doing a tank lift anyway, might as well tuck the cables and call it pepperoni. All right, I will figure out what I'm gonna do with all this dangly bullshit and get back to you in a couple of minutes. Or a couple of seconds on your side of things. And alrighty, quick checkup on what the fuck we're doing right now. I put one of my old bobber seats underneath the tank so I can give it a real lift so I can see what the fuck is going on. So one of the main things that kind of bothers me right now is that this starts off on the right side of the bike and then ends on the left side of the bike, right here. So we pretty much have this intersection below the tank. I want to move this intersection above the frame so I can run it right here underneath the tank. That's where I want to run this shit. So what I've been thinking is just unplugging all this shit and plugging it back together above the frame, right? Because we got all this cable bullshit right here. And yeah. Side note, I also disconnected the fuel line. It's right here. You just push the little metal thingy up, it pops right out. There will be small amount of spillage, just a couple of drops. If you don't want it on your engine, you know, just have a rag ready or some shit. This is now running from over the other side above the frame and back down into the throttle body. Next step is removing these two Torx screws. As you can see, one of these two is already being One of these two is already being abused to hold the switch for the valve exhaust. So now the ignition coil relocation bracket right here goes right there. First, gotta remove this puppy. It's a Torx 45. Alrighty, Captain Shit Nugget back here. Quick update on what we did. We installed the bracket, removed both of those suckers right here. We pulled the cable down that goes into the back of the coil right here. And yeah, it was really not very hard installation. What was a little bit tedious is installing the small little bracket. There's this one screw behind this cover right here. That's the screw that you have to undo in order to install the bracket so you can move your ignition down here. The easiest way I found, honestly, is actually putting the screw in from the other side of the bike. Next step is gonna be really finalizing where I route the cables, zip tying everything. Alrighty guys, it is the next day. I didn't manage to finish the tank lifting and ignition coil project before it got dark, and it was dark as shit out here. My only light source was the flashlight, so but I did finish it, sort of. So basically, whoa, okay, slow down. This is what it looks like. Ta-da! I think it looks pretty dope. We got this nice free space down here. That's what I wanted. There's a couple of things left to do. Obviously, if you know you kneel down, you start seeing the wires down here. So obviously wrapping those in electrical tape would be a very smart thing to do. I sadly didn't have that laying around yesterday, so it will have to wait. I still don't have any. What else happened is the bike's running perfectly fine, but I ended up actually leaving this one too long for some reason. And it looks really stupid. No big deal, I'll pull it back out. What really just sucks is that I will have to re-cramp the little tip thingy. I'll show you. Cutting stuff with a Columbia River knife is dangerous. That's why this is getting abused as a cutting board. Now obviously, you want, you know, I'd say at least 3/4 of an inch of cable sticking out. Ready? And now, this is where you gotta be more careful to not snip the cable. So work in round motions, don't put too much pressure on it, and just kind of work your way through the sleeving. And as soon as you work your way through the sleeving of the cable, you can give it a little bit of twist to really break it. Don't twist it too much, you're going to be breaking the cable. And then, knife away, good. Pull it pretty hard. Oh, the rubber is still on there. It has to go off as well. So I was being too careful when cutting, apparently. Pull that off as well. Ah, yes, there you go, that's it. Now, right, before I just do that without explaining shit, the way this is supposed to go is, let me sit me down on the bike for a little closer view of this whole situation. The cable needs to be folded back, right? And then the boot, whatever the fuck this is, goes over the folded back cable, right? So fold this back and then put the boot over like this, and voila. And then you cramp this part, which is gonna be annoying part. I'm gonna have to do it with pliers. It's probably gonna take around 10 minutes like last time, so I'll make a cut right here and the job is done. There you go, both are on, and that is two perfectly same wires. Let's go. All right, next step, working on the plates wiring, which I'm probably gonna have to remove the entire rear fucking fender, seat. Yeah, gonna be a pain in the penis, but it is what it is, man. So there's these little clamps inside of the fender that hold the cable. You just kind of gotta lift the cable up to pop it out of the clamps, and here it is. I pulled it out, and now we gotta kind of work out how we're gonna route this down to the swing arm. I'm thinking kind of putting it around this way. Let me just kind of swing by the battery here. I'm a bit of an idiot. Normally, if you work with wires, please pull the main fuse. It's right in here. It's pretty easy, but I'm an idiot, okay? Just don't do what I'm doing and you will not die. Hey, got it. All right, just past the battery now, past the fuse box, and now I kind of want to run it alone. The inside of the braking line right here, and see. I think this is a good spot to really get it. Yeah. All right. And I'm gonna run the cable through here, down here. Let me do it. This is easy to do one-handed. I want to run it through here, down, and voila. All right, my GoPro ran out of battery, but we are done. Cable running back through here. Zip tie numero uno, zip tie numero dos. Running it all the way below the frame, through here, and then between the fuse box and the battery, and this is where it comes back out, below the frame, back into the plug. I'm gonna try to give you a below angle from this. I don't know if you can actually see it or not. Here's the shrink tubing. Worked out pretty well, and yeah, the thing works. Let's go. Woo! All right, gonna put this whole shit back together, clean the place up real quick, and then we're gonna get crack-a-lackin' on the handlebars in the next episode. Thank you guys for sticking around for a whole ass 14 minutes. I am fully aware of the fact that the things done in the video are not super interesting, but they are very, very important parts of the build to, you know, put it all together, make it look good. All the details have to really work out, and I'm trying to show as much of the build as I can. And also I will be trying to get the next episode out a lot quicker. I am aiming for 1 week. I took over 1 month for this episode, and I am very, very sorry for making you guys wait for that long. It sucks, I know, I'm a lazy fucker, but I will work on it. See you guys in the next episode. I hope you're just as excited as me. And this is BigBlock signing off.